record it. Okay, so we're recording. I'm just going to find, I think it's in here. So now which one is it? I think it's here. Yes. Okay. So present. Are you all seeing that? Okay, if you can just nod. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so this is the Getting Started Right call, and I'm just going to start with something that I'm sure you've probably all heard. You will have likely heard me or other coaches or other coach trainings, hopefully, that you've heard people talking about the vital behaviors and the importance of the vital behaviors, and the fact that if you want to see success in your business, the vital behaviors are the absolute non-negotiable every day. Like if you're wanting to build, like, this sounds kind of, it might sound kind of crazy to you if you've like always worked in corporate, like even on Christmas Day, I would be like showing my workout if I was doing a workout. Maybe I wasn't doing the workout, but I was showing up. I was in my stories. Maybe I wasn't doing this on Christmas Day, but you get the idea. Like you show up, the more consistent you are, the more you show up day to day to day. It doesn't mean you have to be showing up on social media for like 10 hours a day, right? Like you can just be like little snippets of your day. The more that people grow to trust you, because of course I always say, like, just think about why you were attracted to your coach. Probably because they were consistent, probably because you could see that they weren't going to go anywhere, and probably because you could see that they were getting results and they were showing up and being somebody that you were like, do you know what, I want to be with that person. So I always find that really useful to do my own personal audit on me. Like, would I want to work with me? Whether or not that's them just being in your boot camps, because a lot of you guys are just probably focusing on getting customers for now, though some of you may well already be focusing on getting coaches, dependent on how you want to build, and hopefully you've checked in with, you know, your coach or me, as the case may be. But the first thing first is being proof of the product works, and I cannot express this one enough. Like, I think I often forget this, but my success when I started, I'll just tell you what I did. I'd done Insanity on the DVDs, but I had no idea that there was any coach opportunity attached to it. That was probably 2 years before I came across this opportunity on social media. And when I heard it was Beachbody, I was like, sign me up. I love the programs. Like, I've just become PT. Like, I need to get fit and healthy. So this is perfect for me because I can't get to the gym. And if I happen to help a few people along the way, great. That's why I signed up. But what I did do, and I think this will make or break your success. So like, if you are or aren't doing this right now, like, call yourself out ASAP. If you are not being proof the product works, i.e. you're not sticking to your program to the absolute nose, and you're not sticking to the nutrition, and you're just being like, oh, do you know what, I don't feel like it today. Call yourself out, because that is where, number one, you're going to see the value and you're going to genuinely believe in this, and you're going to be passionate about sharing it. Because I'll tell you, if you don't see the proof that this works, you are going to try and share it with people because you want it to work, but because you haven't really seen it work for you, it's the energy that you're going to give out is going to be so obvious that you're not all in, because you've not all in seen the proof that the product works. And that comes down to you deciding that you're going to be the absolute textbook example of somebody coming into this and ticking all of the boxes, i.e. I'm going to be the perfect challenger. I'm going to take my before pictures. I'm going to do my workouts, whether it's like morning meltdown, you're working out every day, or, you know, lift forwards, 4 workouts a week, whatever it is, you're showing up and you're doing those things, and then you're fueling your body in a way that is nutritionally supporting your program. Because what I sometimes see, and quite often see, is people come into the business and they do the workouts and they're like, I'm loving the workouts, they're amazing, I'm really enjoying it, I feel so much better. And actually they're really letting themselves down because they're not following nutrition, or at least trying to eat healthily if they're not doing Ultimate Portion Fix, which is something that's going to come out to be available for you to get monthly, with Bar Blend actually. So I'm not going to go into that now, but just really call yourself out on that. And also, are you having the superfood every day? Like, I know for me, I'm naturally that kind of person, so probably it's easier for me than for others, but I was like, I'm going to have that shake every day, because if I'm going to do this and I'm going to want to help other people, I need to know it works for me. Because if I don't believe in this actually being a solution for people, and I'm not really passionate about it, then it's not going to work for me, right? Like, I was a newly trained PT, I could just go down to the gym and work out for an hour. So that is like, I always say, like, that's number one as a new coach, number one, and enjoy it. And if you're not enjoying it, Work out whether or not it's that, you know, you're doing a program that perhaps you don't connect with, and maybe you need to call yourself out and say, do you know what, I'm not connecting with this. Maybe I need to speak to my coach about it. But call yourself out on that. And I would also say, like, if you're not having the energize, for example, that is really key. And I'll tell you why it's key. And you've probably seen in other coaches' stories, like people are doing pre-workout dance parties and we're all tagging each other. And that gives FOMO. It gives fear of missing out. There are people watching you, your coaches to be, your customers to be, and they're like, that is so cool. Look at them all like tagging each other, sharing their stories. And that is like the number one reason, in my opinion, why you definitely want to have the energize, but also you want to be able to feel motivated and excited for your workout. And genuinely, when I do those pre-workout dance parties, I get really excited. And that might sound really sad, but it's really fun. And then the girls tag me and I'll share theirs and vice versa. And it's just a really nice community thing, which I know for a lot of us is why we've come into this. And certainly for a lot of girls watching you, they want to see that you're having fun. They want to see the community side of things. So make sure you're thinking about that. And yeah, and being proof the product works. So getting a before and after, getting your before in the same outfit as your after picture, I think is super important, and certainly not something I did at the beginning, which I've just learned along the way. So if I can help teach you not do the things that I didn't do, it's going to be really useful. And then invite, obviously, like, you've enrolled as a coach, whether or not you feel comfortable inviting to the coach opportunity, i.e. to people, for people wanting to do the same as you, or if you're just inviting people to get fit with you, which is, you know, them doing a program with you. For the most part, and I'll be honest, when I started as a coach, I wasn't really comfortable inviting to coach opportunity right away. As I said, I wanted to see that the product worked, and actually I was starting to see that it worked, and so I invited my friends. And that's what I'll say with these vital behaviors to start with. Inviting your warm market, which is your friends and family, even if you're uncomfortable, is crucial. And I'll tell you why, because you have got 90% of the way there already with them, because they already trust you. They're already close to you. And I know, like, I was certainly that person who was like, oh, I can't ask that person. It's really embarrassing. I feel really uncomfortable about it. And actually, if I just blimmin' well got over myself, I would have had all of those girls into my boot camps right away, because what happened was I did get over myself. I went live. And I'll hasten to add, that first live I did on IG, I was shaking so badly, I thought I was going to be sick. And that's what I want you guys to understand, that you have to feel totally so scared that you almost feel sick. Like, I'm not going to make you do it, but I'll tell you, that's the reason why I was successful, because I was terrified and did it anyway, because I was like, I have to share this. I was 15 days into the 21-day fix, and I was loving it. I'd had acne all my life. I'd spent hundreds of pounds on Harley Street every month. It blighted my self-confidence. My mother-in-law's a beautician. Like, it had been awful. And I felt amazing. My skin had cleared up. And I went onto my live IGTV, super simple, and was just like, I have to share this with you guys. I have just started this. I'm 14 days in. I feel incredible. I've lost 2 kilos. Not that it's about weight loss for me, which it wasn't for me. But I've never had so much energy in my adult career life. And my skin has never looked better. And I have to share this with you because it's brought so much to my life, and already I feel so much more confident. And from me doing that, and I'm not saying like, go and do the same, right? Like, you want to connect with what you connect with. Your story is going to be different, but you're going to connect with people with the same issues. So like, a really good way of connecting is then and now. And in a way, that live video was an invite, because I was saying, I have to share this with you because it's a gift. And so if you're interested, then you need to let me know. And so yes, like, the typical invite is in our Hustle and Heart file section under the scripts. You'll see loads of different bootcamp invites, loads of different coach invites. That's your typical invite. And you want to be sowing those seeds now, particularly if you're quite new, because you've got people perhaps who are watching you. And I always think you're in a really strong position, because perhaps you've been a little bit too nervous to invite people, and you've got all these people watching your stories. Now, those are the people who are so interested in what you're doing, and it's our duty to reach out to them, because actually they're looking at what we're doing, and if we haven't invited them, they're like, oh, that looks really interesting, but she hasn't reached out to me. They're never going to reach out to you. So I would say, like, just go for it, because there's going to be people there, if you certainly haven't done that, who are actually, oh wow, yes, I've been watching you. Like, so whilst the intrigue is high, you're starting a new journey, that is when you want to be inviting certainly your warm market. And I'm not going to make you do that. You know, there are coaches who have built their business without even touching their warm market because they feel uncomfortable doing it. And there are certainly like ways that that can be done. But you need to bear in mind that if you're not going to be comfortable inviting your warm market, or even like face to face with your friends, like they'll probably be like, wow, you look amazing. What are you doing? You're like, okay, cool. Yeah, it is amazing. This is what I'm doing. You could even show them the platform. You just have to bear in mind that if you are not going to be willing to invite your warm market or get uncomfortable with them, then it's going to take longer, because you're going to have to build trust with people, your cold market, which is people you don't know. And they're not, I'd say 9 times out of 10, when you're brand new coach, they're not going to enroll for some time. Like my first 3 months, I hit Success Club. I helped 3 people, month 1, month 2, and month 3. And I helped those people because they were all my warm market, even though I felt really uncomfortable. Like I even had my father-in-law, I was like, oh, I'm about to hit Success Club starters, which is hitting Success Club first 3 months, because I really wanted the free summit ticket. I wanted to have that like provided for me. And he was like, oh, Izzy, I'll just enroll, because I was desperate. I was like, I've got to do this. And so I'm going to share it. But also, when inviting your warm market, I do think it's important that you're all in, because of course, if you're not all in and you're not sure and you've not seen the results and you've not been like sticking to your program and stuff, when you talk to them, because they're your friends and your family, they're going to sense that you're not really in it. And then they're going to say no. So call yourself out on that and just have a think about it. Personal development, you guys in our team page, I talk about this. I talk about it on team calls. I talk about it till my legs fall off. This is the number one thing as a new coach that I was like, oh, self-help books. Okay, cool. I don't need that. I've not needed that for my corporate career. I don't need it. And then I started to struggle. And I said to my coach, Mackenzie, oh, I'm finding it really hard. Honestly, it's really tough. I'm just not sure it's for me. And she was like, Izzy, are you doing your personal development? And I was like, no. And she was like, that is going to make or break your success, because that doubt from me was my mindset. And what we need to learn as coaches is that it's all well and good us working on this, but if we don't work on this isn't going to happen, because we at this moment in our journey, and actually every single day, like I'll listen to personal development for at least 20 minutes each day. And if I don't listen, I can't motivate myself. It's the genuine truth and fact. You look at any successful coach, any coach in this business who's doing well, listens to personal development for at least 20 minutes a day. And so I started to do that. And if you're in my immediate downline, or likely if you're not, you've probably been told to listen to You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. That book changed everything for me. And it is, I always say it's a great foundational personal development book if you've not done it before, because it's all about challenging self-limiting beliefs of many different types. And we all have them, and they're given to us from our like childhood, from our upbringing. And what this has done for me has seen me become the UK's top coach at Beachbody. And that is because of this. It's not because of this, because my mindset was not in the right place when I started. So I committed to that. And actually probably on Christmas Day, I will listen to it because it makes me feel good. It's addictive. I'm like, I'm going to find 15 minutes to listen to it. So this, and I know like Brooke Orchard, who's a 10-star diamond. So she's like one of the top coaches in the network. She was on the leadership retreat with me in Arizona. And she says to her team, if you're going to miss your workout or your personal development, miss your workout. Which I was like, okay, cool. What we do is about, but actually that's how much she believes that this should be number one. And I feel very similar about that, because I wouldn't be where I am. And a lot of the girls in my team would not be where they are, still showing up on the good and the bad days, unless they were doing this, because it does get tough sometimes, guys. And obviously like we're going to have times where we doubt ourselves, and it's our job and duty as entrepreneurs, as leaders of our own business, to be doing this, because if this opportunity means that much to you, you owe it to your business to be working on you every single day. And then recognition. So recognition is whether or not it's you've got a boot camper, or there's a coach even on the team that I'm shouting out and you've got no one to recognize, or perhaps you've seen someone sharing results. You make sure that you do that every day in some way. Okay, so you'll see, obviously, like my network's a lot bigger now, so I've often got coaches to recognize or say, oh wow, look at her results, aren't they amazing? But you want to be doing that. And I would just say that, you know, even if you don't have results from your challenges yet, like the back office, coach office, if you go to like any one of the programs, and to the FAQs, you can find pictures. So like even with Bar Blend, that new program that you may or may not be aware of, but they've got the results in the test group, and those photos are all available in the coach office. So you can download them and you can put them in your stories. So you want to recognize people's transformations, but you also want to recognize coach success, because you may well not be ready and you may well not want to build a team, but a lot of people are interested in what you're doing. Like, what is it she's doing? Like, how can I do it too? And unless we're letting them in a little bit and sharing, like, I've just been on a team call and it was great, and we've got these boomerangs, that's why we do boomerangs. So you're sharing that piece. If you do want to build a team, people are never going to get it, because they're not going to see, like, okay, cool, but where's like Izzy sharing anything about her team that she talks about, or where's she sharing anything about these people? Do they actually even exist? That sort of thing. So those are the 4. Be prove the product works, invite personal development and recognition. Be prove the product works could also be you're changing your mindset, right? Like, that's been huge for me. I always talk about it. So your vision, and I did a post about this earlier, and I hadn't actually done one for ages, but what you realize is that this is the most inspiring thing to other people. And obviously, you might not even know what a vision is. Again, when I was a new coach, I had no idea what a vision was. I reached it towards the end of last year, and that's when I really started to run. And my coach, Mackenzie, was talking about vision boards. And I was like, cool, I've heard about them. I've heard about Jen Sincero talking about them in You're a Badass. I've heard about Dean Graziosi, who's a highly successful entrepreneur who wrote Millionaire Success Habits, which is another great personal development book, talking about vision boards. And you notice that every single highly successful entrepreneur had got a crystal clear vision board, i.e. down to the last detail, what they wanted their life to look like, why they were digging in, why they were going on this hard journey, because actually there was something in life that they really wanted, whether it was, just a little bit of something on the side, or, in my case, I'll just share mine to give an idea of kind of how deep this is. It's not just, oh, well, my vision is that I want to help people with their health. Great, I really do. And I'm motivated by that. And obviously it fills my cup. Like, I love it. But my vision is to do with the fact that growing up, I never had the opportunity to travel. And I always wanted to travel, and we could never go, and we never had the money. And I don't want my son to ever have that life, because I want him to have the opportunities that I didn't have. And so when the days get tough for me, I look at that Maryland holiday home that we're going to have in a specific area in Maryland that we visited last year. And I look at what school he's going to go to, because I didn't have those opportunities. So you want to really get clear on your vision. And that's my vision, right? Your vision is probably going to be very different. But if you dig deep enough, i.e., why am I doing this? Okay, but why? And then, but why again? You want to go kind of 6 levels deep of asking why. You're going to find out why you're truly motivated to do this. And it won't have anything to do with fitness in the end. It won't. And I want you guys to know that this opportunity is something that when I started, I had no idea. I thought, oh, well, I'll just do a bit of the coaching, and I want to have the shake each month. So I'll just earn like 100 quid a month, and that'll cover my shake, and boom, and I get these amazing programs. Honestly, that was as wide as my vision went. And this is why tapping into this and revisiting this really often is so important in the start, because your vision is going to change as your self-belief grows and you see the potential. And I did a team call probably about 4 months ago for Run Wild Hustle and Shine, which is their upline page. And Danielle said to me, Izzy, what is it you'd wish you'd known about the opportunity when you started? And I said, the potential of the business. Because if you want to earn 7 figures with this business in time, I'm not going to say it's get rich quick, and I'm not going to say it's going to be easy to get there. But if you want to earn 7 figures, you could do that in 10 years' time. You could be earning that much. There are a lot of coaches in the business who earn 6 or 7 figures. And that for me is a non-negotiable, but I'm really clear on that vision, and I know what I need to do to get there. So just try not to limit yourself, because often, naturally, a lot of us have had self-limiting beliefs inflicted on us that we're not worthy of it, and that it's actually gross to like really want a big vision for our lives. That we've, like, my parents certainly are like, they're very I don't know what the word is, academics, like, we work hard and we don't do anything extravagant, and that's, so it's almost frowned upon. And that's something I have to challenge all the time, because actually I'm not that girl, and I do want more for my life, and I'm not going to be ashamed about it. And often we get brought up to be ashamed of it, when actually it's just a really messed up money mindset. And that book that you might want to write this down. If you think you have money mindset issues, which I definitely did and never knew, You Are a Badass with Money by Jen Sincero changed everything for me. It's incredible. I'm actually listening to it again now. And I say, when you find a personal development book that you connect with and that like calls you out on all the stuff, you're like, oh God, yes. Oh, that's me too. Oh, that's me too. You need to listen to it over and over again until the strength of your resolve is enough to say, do you know what? That's not true anymore. I'm not that person anymore. That's just the past. This is the future. And your vision is going to be what motivates you every day. It's going to be what motivates you to get this done, which, don't freak out, I haven't shown you this yet if you haven't seen it. But this is the business activity tracker, where you're tracking your invites, you're tracking who you're following up with, you're showing up every day, even on the days you don't want to. But unless you've got this and you've got a really clear vision, and you've actually, might want to sit down with your partner or your family, whoever it is that is involved in your vision, you want to share it with them, and you want to really think about how that looks, get the photos, go into Canva, have some fun. I took too long to do it. It took me like 3 weeks to even open Canva to do it. And once I'd done it, I was like, damn, I should have done this ages ago. I'm so fired up now. It really fuels my fire. And I say revisit them every day. Like, I open my vision board every day. If you watch me on Instagram, you'll see that regularly I'm doing a boomerang of me looking at that, because I want my future coaches to know that I'm pretty motivated, that I have a vision. And again, it's sharing that stuff with your coaches before they're coaches. They're just watching your journey. And that's why I'm also sharing personal development in my stories, because I'm starting to educate coaches to be before they're even coaches. Like, I've had coaches who are enrolled who've watched me for ages, and they're like, oh yeah, I've already listened to that book. And I'm like, I wonder why. And I've kind of trained them so that they've got into the mindset so that then they want to join the team. So it is a strategy. So think about it. And incredible things don't happen overnight. And I will tell you this, it was my biggest struggle, because I'll tell you, I am the most impatient person on the planet by nature. It's just the way I've always been. It's not a good trait in anybody. It's got me quite a long way with the business, but I've had to learn to be patient, because what you're doing in the beginning is you're sowing seeds with people, you're sowing seeds with people, you're sowing seeds with people, you're building their trust, they're building their trust, they want to watch you for ages, they want to watch you for ages. You have to be patient, and you have to remain consistent, even when people are saying, no. Most people are going to say no, and we have to learn to accept that that's normal, and that just means we're closer to a yes. So getting really thick-skinned, being patient, and just trusting the process. And that's why mindset is so huge. Time management. Now, this is something that I was always like, when I started, oh, I'm great at this. Like, I'm an ex-estate agent. Like, always had to do like power hours and stuff to call clients. But that was kind of forced, right? Like, that was something that I did as a team. And what you learn quite quickly when you are in an environment where you're working for yourself, if you get really conscious of what you're actually doing in the time you're supposed to be working, I bet you initially it will horrify you, because you're probably going into Instagram. You're probably like, I'm working, I'm going to work my business now. And you're going and you're watching stories and you're looking at someone's post and you're like, oh, that's a great post. That is not working, okay? And that is going to destroy your business quickly if you don't learn to recognize what is an income producing activity and what is you simply, yes, it's helpful. It's your professional development. You're learning from other coaches at this stage. And I expect you to be looking at other coaches' pages to get kind of ideas, not to copy, but just to kind of get the gist of stuff, because that's what I did. This is where this comes in, this business activity tracker. If you're not using it or you haven't seen it, it's called the BAT, the BAT. It is under the files section of our team page, and it is pioneered by the top coaches in the network. It was developed, Carl Deichler, the CEO, said to them, what does any new coach or any coach need to do in this business on a daily basis for them to see success? And they produce this. So it doesn't matter whether you're Ashley Molstad, who's #1 in the network, or you're a brand new coach. We should all be using this, and we should all be ticking this off. And if you're in the UK Business Builder page, or if you're not already, but once you're Emerald as a UK coach, you'll be put in there. They have share your tracker every day, and I share my tracker in there for accountability. And I also got to win some peppermint mocha, and they're going to give out 3-day refresh. So they're products we can't get in the UK that I think they have in Canada and the States. So that's quite fun. But this, if you don't know what to do in your day, this is going to give you that clarity, and it's going to help you work out where the holes are, where perhaps you're not seeing success because you're not doing one of those things. And I don't expect you to know what all those things are. Yeah, right. So that's why that's super important for you guys. So that page is the whole week. So you just want one for a week. You can laminate them, get a whiteboard pen. I know Imogen, that's probably right up your street. I think I've got a comment. Hold on. What's that? Yeah, no worries, Megan. Oh, she's gone already. So time blocking is crucial. Like if I'm doing invites, I'm like, right, I'm going to do them for 20 minutes. I sit down at 10 past, I don't know, 7:30. I can't stop. I can't focus on any other task. I definitely can't look at my messages until 20 minutes has passed. And that is the number one danger, right? You've got me posting in our team page. You've got all these notifications coming up on Facebook. You've got, you know, your virtual gym, and then you've got, you've got like, yeah, you've got like a message thread going on, and you're like, oh, messages coming through from my Instagram. I'll better check that. The sooner that you call yourself out on the fact that you're just responding to messages as soon as they come in, the better. Because what you need to do is, number one, track. Make sure you've got a tracking device. And this is amazing, although the back's not printed off. On the back of this sheet, there are lines for you to write Instagram handles on. So unless you're tracking, you don't have a business. Whether or not you're brand new, you need to be tracking. I started off on paper, and I don't have it on paper now because I have a proper tracking system, which I'm not going to cover here because it's kind of probably a little bit too far ahead and it's too detailed to cover in this call. But if you want the details, let me know. But just make sure you're doing that. And then morning routine is so crucial. I know certainly, like, if I'm off my game, it's because my morning started off wrong. And this is another book I'm going to give you guys the title of, which changed everything for me with my mornings, because I was always the person that's like, I need to have X amount of sleep or I'm going to get ill and Miracle Morning. It's called Miracle Morning. And he basically says, like, it's all actually a load of nonsense how much sleep you need. How much sleep you need is how much sleep you tell yourself you need. It's that mindset thing. And that book was amazing. And it was talking about how you need to wake up being grateful. You need to wake up not being like, oh, okay, I've got loads of messages. I'll just respond to people. That's not you respecting your business. That's you being responsive and not taking the control. So for me, I don't respond to messages until Arthur's gone to preschool at 9. Like, my morning routine is get up, make a drink, have my porridge. I'll write down my gratitude and my vision. So this is my book that I use. Gratitude, my vision gets written down at the same time I'm looking at my Canva. I write my affirmations, like I will, I can, I am is one of mine, that I'm talking about that every day. Like, I am amazing, like, might sound really big-headed, but it's that kind of stuff. Like, I had years of telling myself that I was just basically a failure. And so if you're like that, which a lot of us are, again, we have a little voice in our head telling us all kinds of, like, you know, like if you knock something over, I'm like, oh, I'm such an idiot. That kind of stuff is stuff that makes you really lack self-belief, because you're basically picking yourself to pieces. And so affirmations are so important for the things that, you know, you really want to happen. So another one that I say is, this is happening for me. Like, I am UK #1 coach. I will be next year. I'm going to be 10-star. And it's like, it's written down as though it's already happened. Things like abundance flows easily and effortlessly into my life, because it's a money mindset thing for me as well. That's kind of a mental block. They're just an example, but affirmations. And then I do a guided meditation. So that probably takes 10 minutes. I listen to Abraham Hicks. She is incredible. YouTube, super easy. So that's really, really easy. And then sorry, I just lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Yeah, and you might think that's like, yeah, great, Izzy, I work full time. That takes me about 5-10 minutes max to do that. And that sets my day off on the right foot, because I'm writing out my vision. I'm connecting with that vision and that piece. And that's what fires me up. And I wrote a post about it today, because often people will say to me, Izzy, I don't know how you're so motivated. I don't know how you're so consistent. I don't know how you do it. It's because I do that stuff in the morning. And if I didn't, I would pick my bat up, that business activity tracker, and be like, oh God, I just don't feel like it today. Because we have to keep reminding ourselves of why we're doing this, of why we're doing all of this stuff and what it means for our lives and our families. Being intentional, again, as I said earlier, like, if you're going into Instagram, perhaps you don't even know you're doing it, and you're looking at loads of stories and you're doing it all the time, you need to get intentional with your time. You need to call yourself out on what you've gone into that media to do, and that you're not going to focus on anything else until that job is done. Make the vitals a priority. I've already said that at the beginning of the call. Super important, those 4 things. Have a specific workspace. Now, this changed everything for me. And, you know, to start with, when we're running our businesses, we're probably sitting on the sofa, or we don't even have a tracking system. We don't have the bat. We're just doing the training. We really don't know where to start. We probably, you know, never worked from home before, and on our own, or run our own business. So that's, you know, it's normal for it to be a bit of a shit show, excuse my language, to start with. But as soon as I was like, do you know what, I really want to do this business, I'm all in. I was like, now I need to level up. Like, I can't be just working from wherever, like sitting on the sofa with my phone, like writing Instagram handles down. I need to respect myself, respect the fact that this is a 6 or 7 figure business, and I'm going to treat it like it. So I'm going to only work in this space, and I'm going to have motivational quotes, and it's going to make me feel good. So whether it's like nice candles or whatever it is, like nice books, get yourself organized, like that is everything, because the way that you feel in that space is how you're going to feel about your business. And if you don't feel good in that space, you're just going to be sloppy. You're going to be a reflection of that space. So think about it. I'm not naturally tidy, I'll be honest. So that's really important to me, that I'm like tidy desk, tidy mind. It's crucial. Okay, next slide. So share your journey on social media. You're a coach, but that's not all you are. So share other aspects of your life. And again, like, I found this super hard to begin with. Like, I know we all do. Probably both of you find it hard, because you're letting people into your life, right? And that's hard. And to start with, you probably do just want to share your fitness journey. But the moment that you can start to, again, self-reflect and be like, do you know what? Why was I attracted to that coach? It wasn't just because she was sharing coaching. It was because she was sharing what her life was doing, or like how her life looked. She's letting people in. And it took me a long time to let people in. To share Arthur, you know, that was something I was quite worried about from a kind of, you know, from a kind of perspective of sharing him. Like, I didn't want him on social media, but actually you learn that there aren't many widows out there. And if there are, you just block them anyway. So think about what you enjoy. Like, I know the training has covered this. If you haven't like got into that point on the training, or you need a refresh, you can go back and watch it. But your avatar, so like 4 things that make you, right? Like, I'm essentially a stay-at-home mum. I had a corporate career. I love fitness. I'm a personal trainer. I love to go walking in the countryside. You know, and that's how you're going to connect with your tribe. Like, Imogen, I know you love horse riding, so that you're going to connect with fellow horse riders. That's going to be a huge thing for you, in my opinion. So you want to share that. So just giving that as an example, like, if you love to drink wine, doesn't mean you can't be fit. Like, if you love to drink wine and you want to be fit, great. Ashley Molstad, #1 coach in the network, always goes on about loving wine and staying fit. She's like, I want to be fit because I want to drink wine. Okay, that's not me personally, because I have a kidney condition, and I don't agree with that. But that's her tribe, right? Her tribe love to drink wine and keep fit. So think about that. Think of social media as a storefront, and the place where people go to see that you're legitimate, right? If your storefront is your Instagram, and Instagram, the visual is so important. And I hate to say it, because it can be a little bit stressful when you're new. You're like, I don't know how to make these pictures look great. Like, I don't have a light ring. I don't know what Snapseed is. I don't know what Izzy's talking about. I don't have time to take good pictures. And it's a process and a journey, and just understand that it is a process and a journey. And if you look through my Instagram, you'll see that it's been a long journey for me. It doesn't come naturally to me. But I think the moment you start to call yourself out again and say, like, what do I want this business to be? Like, in an ideal world, what is it to me? Am I behaving like that person? What can I do now to level up, even if I don't feel like it, even if I don't have time? Because we all have time. And you will get better at it. I certainly like talk about my grid. I'll talk about it briefly. Like, if I've got a close-up shot of my face, then the next picture will generally be like a long shot. If that's in fitness clothing, then the next one won't be in fitness clothing. So I'm trying to just think about how it looks aesthetically. And what you'll learn as you go through this process is that you'll start to build a bank of photos. So like at the weekend, the other week, we went for a country walk, and I put my nice outfit on purpose. Like, I hadn't put that outfit on for ages. And I've actually been peppercorning those pictures into my Instagram, because it's been quite strategic. But those photos took my husband 2 minutes, and I've been using them for the past 4 weeks. So if you start to think like that, you realize that actually it doesn't have to be this like, oh God, now I've got to like spend ages talking to my partner about taking loads of photos, and oh, this is so stressful, it's going to take so long. Because actually it doesn't. And you start to build a bank up. Yeah, and would you want to join you? Like, do you look at your page and does it look professional? And if it doesn't, don't worry, like, you're brand new. But start to look at other coaches' stuff and see, like, what do they do in their bio? Like, are they sharing bits? Yeah, they're sharing bits of themselves, so people can immediately connect with that bio. That's super important. And And then just looking at your page and actually saying to yourself, does that give them a snapshot of me? Or does that just give them a snapshot of me on my fitness journey and just that I love to keep fit? If you're like me and you're a PT and you love to keep fit, then quite a lot of it is about that. But, certainly if there are other like real keen interests you have, definitely share them, because that's going to connect with your tribe. And your first goal as a new coach. So you should all know this. I think you all know this. Help 3 people get started with the program and Shakeology, which is a challenge pack, which hopefully you all know. There has been a lot of research done by Beachbody that says that if you hit Success Club in your first month, your second month, and your third month, the trajectory of your business is likely to be far more successful and long than if you don't. So that should be something that certainly for me as a new coach, I was like, I heard about the Success Club thing. I was like, what is it? I was like, okay, cool. I get a free summit ticket and I get a call with the vice president. I've just got to hit Success Club every month. And that for me was a decision. And you'll learn this with the mindset piece, which was something I didn't believe in. But when you tell yourself you're going to do something, not try or hope or I might or I could or I should or I know I need to, but when you start to use I hope, I'm trying, I'm doing my best, you're not doing your best because you've not made the decision to do that thing. So when I said I was going to hit Success Club, I was like, I am going to hit it. I am going to hit it. And you better bet that because I was telling myself I was going to hit it, I did the action that put fuel under my backside to get it done. That's how you want to start talking to yourself. And I'll tell you who told me that. That was the global corporate director at Beachbody. I spoke to him this time last year when I was really starting to build, and I said, I'm really trying, I know, and I'm hoping that I can. And he was like, stop saying trying, stop saying hoping, and say you're going to do it. Because he said, you saying you're trying, you're hoping is you letting yourself off the hook. And it was so true. Like, I cannot tell you how true that is. Start a program and invite people to it. Like, that was another thing. I was super uncomfortable about it. I was like, oh, setting up a challenge group. I have no idea how this Canva thing works. I'm super crappy on visuals. That was a story I told myself. Like, I don't naturally love doing visuals, I'll be honest, but I've grown to do them really well. And that's because I was just like, do you know what? I need to get over myself and this, I can't do it, and just do it and invite people to it. And that put fire under my backside because I was like, well, crap, now I've got a challenge group and now I've got to make sure I've got people in it. Otherwise, like, that's just super, like, that I'm just going to feel awful that I've got no one in there. So I didn't rely on my upline to put my challenges or coaches in there. I put them in my own, and I hit Success Club in that first month. So as I said earlier on, there's 2 sides to business: inviting to get fit with you or inviting to work with you as a coach on your team. Either will get you to Success Club. So a coach or a customer on a challenge pack is 2 Success Club points. And use the invite scripts file in team page. So be resourceful. That is super important. Using the coach online office, as I said earlier on, the people I see that will do well in this business generally are people who don't always come to me with questions and they're like, oh, I found it. They've like looked for the answers and they found them. And the sooner you can be resourceful and just say, do you know what? I'm running my own business and I can ask Izzy, or I can try to find the answer and then I can ask Izzy. That is how you're going to level up, because actually you're going to give yourself confidence that actually you don't need anybody else. You can do this. And I know certainly my upline had no upline, and she's like a 5-star diamond now, and she was 21 when she started, and she was like, I just Googled stuff. I looked on YouTube. I learned who a few of the coaches' names were because she was listening to the National Wake Up Call every Monday, which I'll just say here is like, should be a non-negotiable. When you see me post that on a Monday, make sure you either watch it live or you catch up, because those calls are gold. They are people in the network who are doing really well at different levels and time frames in their business, giving their top tips to success, and they're always different. But that's where you're going to get the names for coaches to Google who be like, oh, do you know what? I really need help with, I don't know, like overcoming objections. And then you can just get that person. So I did Ashley Molstad. She's #1 in the network. Ashley Molstad, overcoming objections, YouTube. Oh, lo and behold, there's a training on me needing to learn how to overcome people's objections, because when they say no to me, I'm like, okay, cool. That's not overcoming an objection, as an example. So if there's something you're struggling with, like, before asking me, maybe just Google it, because that is where you're going to get that confidence. Then when you get new people into your team, whatever, you can be like, okay, cool. Like, this is what we do. And that's the ethos that you want to create. CoachFAQ.com, exactly, as for the Coach Online Office. So there's a national wake-up call, as I said, which is at 4 p.m. UK time. The meeting and mimosas team call on a Sunday is I would say should be a non-negotiable. One of the top coaches in the network, Danielle Natoni, has a 15-point checklist, which I think again is on the files section of our team page. I certainly need to share it a lot. And she says, like, if her coaches can't tick off everything on that list to say that they're doing each month, she doesn't do one-on-ones with them. Now, that's quite aggressive in my opinion. She's very successful. She's a 15-star diamond, so I suppose she can do it if she wants to. That's not the way I lead. But she says, like, one of those things is you make those calls live. And the reason why you make them live is that catching up on a recording is nothing compared with being physically there, in with the community, able to put stuff in the chat and the comments, and actually you're soaking it all in so much more. And that was something I didn't realize as a new coach. My entire upline are in America. So I used to get on calls at 12 o'clock, 1 a.m. because I wanted to be on the calls live, and it made such a huge difference to how I felt about the business. And I think if I hadn't have done that, I probably would have quit a long time ago because I didn't feel connected and I checked out. So this slide should say, what would you do with an extra £700 in 3 months, not a month? But it's not £700. It's probably more like £620 in 3 months, because dollars to pounds is probably where it is right now. So this is just going to give you a really good example of why hitting Success Club should be a non-negotiable, because 1, it's going to give you confidence. 2, you're going to see the money coming in. And 3, you're going to be like, okay, cool. Well, if I can earn 620 quid in 3 months, and that's just the start, then it's going to give you faith, right? You're going to start to see how it builds. So if in month 1 you have a new customer or coach, you help 3 of them, that's £40. You're going to get 3 times £40, which is £120 in the first month, just from getting 3 new customers or 3 new coaches. You do the same in month 2, and then you get the Shakeology commission because they've had the Shakeology and they're loving their product. Then you're going to get another £200 in month 2. So that's going to be like 120 plus 200, 320 quid. And then if you then get another 3, so that's Success Club in the 3rd month, and then you've got the 6 from the previous 2 months on Shakeology, you're going to be getting about £650 in the 3 months, which is kind of crazy when you think that's just hitting Success Club. And that's really how it was for me. Like, I started to see how it would build, and I was like, I was doing my PTs and my classes and I was run ragged, and I was like, I can already see the potential of this business is way more than me having to physically show up at a location and train clients at really odd times in the day. And so that's when I was like, I just have to build this business. Like, it's a non-negotiable for me. But you see how that built my faith, and that's why it's so important. And questions. So I'm just going to stop screen sharing. I'm just going to well, I'm not going to unmute you, actually. Do you want to just comment or just unmute yourself if you know how to, if you've got any questions? Or maybe just write in the chat. Have you got any questions? Anyone?
I do. You mentioned a couple of books. I completely missed the name of them.
Yeah, don't worry. So You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero.
Got that one.
Okay, Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi. And then, what was the other one I mentioned? You're a Badass with Money by Jen Sincero. Oh, and Miracle Mornings.
That was the one.
Sorry. There are quite a few, but those are like really integral books to my success, I'd say. Just, don't underestimate that stuff. It's so key.
A lot of info.
Yeah, sorry, I've just kind of thrown it all at you.
Literally written all down.
I love your dog with his dog. What's
it's a cat.
Oh no, it's a cat.
Bella.
What's happened?
Oh, she's got a sore on the back of her neck.
Oh no.
No, yeah. So she just came and crashed the party.
I remember our pug going in. I can't remember what it was for. Oh, I think it's because he'd tried to unfurl a hedgehog and he's got a really flat face and he'd got like spines in his face and he was scratching it. So they put a funnel on his head and he walked into our gravel driveway and tried to smell the gravel and he scooped it all up in his thing and like shoved it. It was so funny.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
She does that with her food. She ends up getting like little biscuits stuck
oh, bless
in the
her.
Phone. It's
I used to have cats. I love cats.
I know she's had that. I've got hamster as well. He was running around, but I had to get the other half to come put him away.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was great.
Does the cat not eat the hamster?
No, she's terrified of him, and he was
How
in a box
funny.
anyway. Yeah, she's
Oh my
terrified of
goodness.
hamster. She's pathetic, but she's lovely.
How funny.
Yeah.
Imogen, do you have any questions? I've just unmuted you. Don't worry if you don't. I've probably completely.
I've written so much down.
You can always watch the call back.
Yeah, good shout, good shout. Are you going to post it in the Facebook page?
I will. It probably won't be until tomorrow later on because I have to it has to load to my computer, then I have to load it to YouTube, and it always takes ages to load through. But yeah.
There was one. I wrote it down, so I'm trying to look through my notes.
What are you doing?
Don't worry. If I think of it again, I'll
Just message me. I think the main thing to take away from this call, from a kind of perspective of, right, how do I level up, is mindset, committing to your program, and making damn sure you tick every box off this every day. That would be my takeaways.
What, I've got one actually question. What's the easiest and best way to approach somebody on like Instagram that's following you? Because I've done one of the, not on that business activity tracker, I gave it a go on one that somebody had just created. I think it was, is it Claire, or I want to say Kelly, might be wrong.
Maybe it was Claire, yeah.
And it said about going into like an Instagram page that you really like, and her like choice was Gymshark.
Yeah.
So Gymshark's actually one that I follow, and I absolutely love Gymshark. It's absolutely amazing gym wear. And I went and liked loads of people's things, left it a few hours, done all of that and everything. And I've had loads come back to me, but then I've had loads that have followed my stories the past couple of days, that have been watching everything. But then how do I then make that step? Because I was kind of like, I'm like you, how you were when you first started, like the anxiety and everything like that. I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna.
So you've made initial connection with them.
Kind of.
What does that mean? So
just where they're messaging and saying like, I've had one or two people message saying like, oh, you look great, like what is it that you're doing?
They've messaged
and now
you.
I'm just like, what do I do?
So they've messaged you, you haven't messaged them.
They've messaged me.
So I'll call you out on this. You're not messaging people when they connect with you, are you?
No.
That's where you have to get over yourself.
Okay.
It's not easy. So I'll make it super simple for you, because this is what I do, and it should hopefully, although to start with you won't be able to take your emotion out of it and you're going to feel really uncomfortable, but I'll tell you what I do, and it's super simple, and hopefully you can all follow it. Whether they follow my stories, or whether they're a new follow, this is for a new like, a new story watcher, or a new follow, they get this message. Hey, whatever their name is, like I definitely always personalize it. I think it's important. Thanks so much for watching my stories, liking my recent post, following my page or following me back. I really appreciate it. Like, so it's sort of like a double positive, like, thanks so much. I really appreciate it, because it's genuine, and it is genuine. Like, I'm grateful for people liking my stuff, right? I'm grateful for people following me back, and I'm grateful for people watching my stuff. And then I'll go onto their page and be like, you look amazing, or I love your profile, like I love the energy, whatever. If it's something like, say it was a horse rider, like you'd be like, oh, you're into horse riding too. Or I might be like, oh, how long have you been a PT for? So it's generally like a connection where I'm thanking them to start with. Then I'm giving them a compliment. Okay, so thankful, gratitude, compliment, question. And you'll hear top coaches say this: gratitude, compliment, question. Because most of the time, if you receive that message from somebody else, you're going to reply. You are, because you're like, oh, that's really nice. So compliment, and then I'll say, how long have you been on your fitness journey? If it's clear they've been on a fitness journey, so someone like a Gymshark person, you're not going to say, are you on a fitness journey? Because they're going to be like, are you stupid? It's really obvious I am. Okay, which I have definitely done. But say like, how long have you been on your fitness journey, or are you on a fitness journey too? Because if they're watching your stories or they're liking your stuff and they've looked at your page, they've seen you on a fitness journey. And for me, it makes it less awkward, because then I've made an initial connection and I've intonated at fitness. So they know I've got something to do with it. So then when I go to invite them, whether it's the coach opportunity or boot camp, they kind of see it coming because I've planted that initial, oh, she's in fitness kind of thing. Whether or not they reply to that message, they get an invite 2 or 3 days later. They go into my tracking system as somebody that I've thanked or liked, or they're a new person. They have to go into a tracking system, whether or not you're writing the handles down or not. That is your invite funnel. They need to get an invite, and you need to take the emotion out of it and just send them. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, you don't have a business, because the fact you've got people coming to you is a great sign, because clearly they're so keen they're coming to you. I rarely have that, but then I rarely let anyone do that because I'm connecting with them all the time. Connections, to the point that I don't feel uncomfortable about it anymore. It's just what happens. It's just normal. It's, and the quicker you can do that, the better. So I would just say follow that format, see how it goes.
Perfect.
If you don't like that message and you find that it doesn't, you're like, oh, I don't really vibe with that, change it up a little bit. But generally, you're going to be able to find a way to thank them for following, liking, or watching your stories. You're going to be able to find a way to compliment them. And then you're going to be able to ask them, are you on a fitness journey too? Or how long have you been on your fitness journey? Or if it's someone like a life coach, or I don't know, someone who's like into Gymshark stuff, say like, oh, are there any other brands you love? I love Gymshark too. Like, you could say something like that. If that's your tribe, they're Gymshark girls, then they're going to connect with that.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah, definitely. Just got to do it.
Yeah, you have to, because you're not going to have a business that you're going to be able to grow if you don't do it. And that's the long and short of it, is that this is an incredible career and I would not do anything else, but we have to do that. And if we don't get out of our comfort zone and invite people, we're never going to be able to have that amazing business that we want. And I'll tell you, when you start doing that, it's uncomfortable for anybody. For somebody that loves inviting or hates inviting, to start with, you hate it. You really hate it.
Already.
I love it now. It's just something that takes me 2 minutes. I'll like have the Instagram handles and there'll be like 15 invites sent out in 2 minutes. So I take my emotion out of it, because if you're putting your emotion into it and you're like, oh, I don't know whether to invite, how much time are you wasting? It is a numbers game to a certain degree. You're going to connect with your tribe. Some of the people you invite are not going to be your tribe. They're not going to like it, and they're going to unfollow you. That's what you want, because you want the people watching you and following you to be your tribe.
If someone outright says no straight away or doesn't reply at all, do you just leave it and then follow up again?
So I used to always follow up with people I invited about a week later, whether or not I had a reply. Now my funnel is so big now, I don't do that, but that's because I'm a good way down the track. So I would encourage you guys, the people that don't even reply to the invite a week later, this is why you want to track them. Say, well, I just wanted to check in, was this of interest? Because actually it's more icky to send someone an invite and never follow up than send them an invite and follow up, because it actually shows that you cared and you meant to send it. Whereas with me, they probably just think she's rude. It's just, I've reached a point in my business where I can't manage those numbers. So tracking it is key. That's why tracking it is key.
I need like an Excel sheet or something.
Yes, Excel, or look at Google Streak and look at a Google Streak training, which is what all of us use.
I need to buy a new folder. Not that I have enough already.
Whatever's going to work for you in this beginning stage, but just understand and know that you're going to need to take it digital at some stage. So it's way less painful to do that now if you can face it. And it's going to make you way more like, this is a business. Okay, now I'm going to invite people. I've got somewhere to put them. I'm organized. I know what I'm doing. Sound good?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for making time. Let's do a boomerang. Boomerang. And then I'll tag you guys. I'm getting a bit stressed because I think
I'd boomerang as well, but I'm using my phone to talk to you guys, so I'll just share your post.
No, don't worry. 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. I'll tag you, don't worry. And if you've got any questions, just ask me afterwards.
Perfect.
Well done for being on.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye.